Very few would know this, but Giorgio Pantano wasn't just an ordinary name in racing in the 1990s, well before Formula One. He's actually considered to be the greatest karting legend of all time. He was so good that Nico Rosberg claimed that he had a poster of Pantano in his bedroom as a child, and even Fernando Alonso thought that Pantano was a living legend. Max Verstappen is considered to have one of the best karting records ever, but many have said that Pantano's karting career was easily greater than of Verstappen's karting career. Just imagine if Pantano was doing all of this today rather than 25 years ago. He would literally have every F1-oriented driver academy begging him to sign with them, just like what had happened with Verstappen. He had won multiple titles in karting, including World Junior Karting. He also had titles in Formula A in 1995 and 1996. It was a struggle for the next few years trying to get the attention of Formula One teams, and he wouldn't get involved in Formula One until he tested for all of Benetton, McLaren, Williams and Minardi between 2000 and 2002. Another achievement for Pantano in the year 2000 was winning the German Formula 3 Championship. Also, during the years of 2001 and 2003, he competed in International Formula 3000 and particularly impressed in 2002 and 2003, where he finished second and third in those championships respectively. In these championships, he had to compete with other future F1 drivers like Antonio Liuzzi and Sebastian Bourdais. He bidded for the 2004 race seat at Jaguar, but that would end up going to Christian Klein, who could bring in more sponsorship funds, but Pantano did end up securing a race seat at Jordan. With very minimal testing done for the Jordan that year before the beginning of the season, Pantano and the Jordan car really struggled at the beginning of the season, and it didn't really improve throughout the year. He was consistently outperformed by experienced teammate Nick Heidfeld, and in the few instances where both cars finished, Heidfeld always finished ahead of Pantano. And when Pantano was replaced due to financial reasons for Timo Glock, Glock actually scored 2 points in his debut race at Canada, and even finished ahead of Heidfeld, which mounted further pressure on Pantano to perform. But unfortunately, with a mix of low-end finishes and retirements, this saw Jordan sack Pantano after the Italian Grand Prix and was replaced by Glock. It was a sad ending to his stint in Formula One, and even a reminder that sponsorship money is king in Formula One. He managed two best career finishes of 13th position at the Malaysian and European Grand Prix. After Formula One, he joined GP2, and to show how good of a driver he was, he became the first driver to ever be paid in GP2 when he signed with Campos Racing for the 2007 campaign. He also got progressively better every year, finishing 6th in 2005, 5th in 2006, despite missing the first 6 races of the season that year. Then he finished 3rd in 2007 and eventually won the 2008 GP2 Drivers' title. Not only did he win the GP2 Championship in 2008, but he also amassed the most wins of any GP2 driver ever at the time in this series, and he cemented his racing status as a great. He also beat many drivers that would eventually go into Formula One for that championship in 2008, including the likes of Romain Grosjean, Pastor Maldonado, and Vitaly Petrov. He also kept himself rather active during and after GP2 racing in many categories, such as IndyCars, the now dissolved Super League Formula, the folded Auto GP, the International GT, and the Blancpain Sprint Series. Nowadays, he runs a team in the Karts. In conclusion, I do really feel for Pantano. He was one of the best junior talents, if not the best junior talent ever, and if he were born about 15 to 20 years later, I have no doubts at all that he'd be signed up by a driver program and have a long career in Formula One, a very similar path to which Max Verstappen is on now. Particularly when you look at some of the drivers who were hired for Formula One in this decade and the decade before that, it is borderline a disgrace that a rare talent like Pantano wasn't allowed to succeed in Formula One. Well, that's my video about Pantano. Subscribe to the channel and let me know what driver you want me to do next for this series.